Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with episode 16 of Campaign 2, Talks Machina. You know how this goes. We're just gonna jump in. No sense in talking about anything because we just went over it for 4 hours, did a live stream for 2. I ranted drunk for about an hour. I just watched about 5 hours of Calamity, and I've got 45 minutes left. I saved it so that I could gather all my thoughts, and I could sit down tomorrow, Sunday, and finish. I'm going to have it all done by Sunday. I'm going to edit it up Sunday night. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, however many days I see fit or however I want to release it, we will get all the parts out. It's in 5 parts. Even though episode 3 was an hour shorter, roughly, if I did an extra 10 minutes in each part, I was still able to get it in under an hour apart and still do 5 parts. So it worked out quite well. I like to keep the videos under an hour, so that is why I'm saying that. Otherwise, let's just jump in. A favor in kind. We know what happened, like I said. I don't know who's joining us. I'm curious to see who's joining us. The last 2, we had Molly, Ford, then Caleb and Bo. So, I'm feeling like it's going to be not them, which would mean we have either not Yasha or Jester. Ashley, Laura, Sam. It's either 1 or 2 of the 3, maybe all 3. Because then I'd feel like they'd have to double up unless it's just one of them. Who knows? Who would it be likely, though? I'm trying to think of based on the episode. I mean, it could pretty much be anybody, but Yasha did get her sword. I feel like if it is going to be anybody, it's likely to be Ashley Johnson with her husband, Brian, and possibly Laura or Sam. My guess is Laura. Let's do it up with the ladies. Laura is pregnant, though, and just got over being sick, so I don't know if she'd be so down for a hour of Talks Machina. She obviously can't drink. She's pregnant. Let's find out. You guys want to see more of what I do. Full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link's at the end. Dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube. Doctor Who, Person of Interest, Battlestar, Stargate, a million other shows. Go check it out. If not, here we go. Campaign 2, episode 16. Talks Machina. Drop that.
So cute.
So cute. Look at that.
Year, so
Probably, but it's
It is Jester and Ashley.
It's nice to have
Jester and Ashley, not Yasha. Jester and Ashley.
plushie to hold. Oh, I don't know.
Plushie
Guys,
to
we have some
hold.
Crit roll stats for this episode, which
Okay.
I will now read to you off of this card. This episode holds the 50th natural one of
The
campaign 2.
50th natural one.
Ford's initiative versus Sif was the 50th natural one. Now, that's 58 natural ones this campaign in all for the kids, man. Because
That means
D&D Beyond is giving $100 to 826 LA for every natural one in the campaign.
So that was
$5,800 already.
and that's 8 natural ones in episode 16.
That number.
I didn't
That's
either.
crazy.
It's nuts.
That's
Yeah,
a
there's
lot
been
of
some-
ones.
That's a
been
lot
some
of ones.
That's a
shitty
lot of
ass rolls
ones.
this
Yeah, that
campaign.
last game was we rolled like shit.
That was
10
a lot of
natural
ones
ones last game. 10 in one episode.
10.
That was this last week's.
16.
Episode 16 not only takes the
Ford had
lead for
3
most
that I
nat
remember.
ones in campaign 2, but ties for an all-time record with episodes, spoilers, 22, 61, and 11 in campaign 1.
Oh,
And those were all 10.
10 in
That's-
one natural ones in one episode.
and that's the record?
That's a lot.
Ties
Yeah,
a
take it
record?
off, girl. Woohoo.
I'm
Get
waiting
more
for the
comfortable
11th.
and totally
11.
be okay with yourself.
3 at least, maybe 4
29
were
recorded
Ford.
pranks. Jester's
3
attempt to
almost
put
in a row.
Mustache on the statue to the matron of Ravens is the first time she had to abort because she was caught mid-act.
Mid-act.
Yeah, you got caught mid-act.
Dang it.
Dang
I
it.
had that fate fucking point already.
Isn't that the same outfit
Roll it
that
in.
Marisha wore? I feel like that is a Marisha outfit
yes,
that
I would've
Ashley
used
Johnson's
that.
wearing.
That'd be hilarious.
She wore something identical to that, I feel like.
Yeah, Jester, we need that.
And we joked about how it looked like Sigourney Weaver, like Ripley, wasn't it?
Our first question for the night is going to be for both of you.
Okay.
Right.
And this is going to come from Felice Ventus.
Felice
How
Ventus.
terrified were you two going into the fight with the entity with such low health? Started off this week a little bit spent.
I was stressed.
My
And
God,
also
same
we're
with Calamity.
still-
Both started low.
I mean, our hit points are not super high yet.
No.
Yeah.
And so they were already, I think I was halved.
I
by
got
the
my
time we got- by the
watermelon
time we got to
mojito
the
Bud
guy-
Light.
The guy.
I had 11 hit points when we went into that fight.
That's how fancy I am.
Yeah, because I had just been unconscious
Just
and
when you
like
went-
barely healed, and then we like started fighting him.
I almost poured into the wrong one.
Yeah, it was very stressful.
11 is never good.
11 is not a good
11.
number.
Look at
No,
this.
When you're talking about health.
I didn't do this on purpose, but
You
it
know,
kind
I
of
thought-
matches my
I thought
shirt.
one of us was
It's
more.
red, but
I
it kind
thought
of
so,
matches
too.
my shirt.
It's still early enough, and I feel like one of us is gonna die.
I know.
Always
It's
have a backup
entirely
character.
possible. It's easier to go
Frumpkin.
now.
And she's
Yeah,
got a
but
little
I'm
jester.
still like so attached to our characters
know.
already, and like then you.
Why
wouldn't
does she
get to,
feel like someone's gonna
see
die?
The story play out with them. You know what I mean? Like they would just like stop in the middle of their journey and be done.
Why would Laura assume someone's going to die?
Resurrecting power at this low.
I don't have
No.
shit yet. I don't even have Revivify yet.
We would
Duh.
have to go to.
Revivify.
We would have to go
Just
to
saw that used in Calamity.
somebody.
Yeah, if we could save
Xerxes.
their body or
Yeah.
something. That's what we had to do with Pike when.
Oh yeah.
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 Sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
Low levels got to get. Well, when do you get Revivify?
I think level 5, I get access to level 3 spells, and then I'll get Revivify.
Sick.
That's next level.
Frumpkin!
Right, Frumpkin. Yep, next level.
That is so
Oh,
cute.
it's so
This is
cute.
so
Whoever made
cute.
that, that's adorable.
This is a win.
I know,
It's a win.
That was early on in the
There's some good
campaign that
stuff.
got made because it's
Yeah.
been since.
That
there's a
looks like the
couple of-
Frumpkin
there's a-
Many
on my
Yasha
shirt.
and a
My
Jester
orange
over
shirt that
there.
I have, that's Frumpkin. Why is
Ashley,
the
Katie
lighting
Nicholson
off?
would like to know.
Okay.
You create badass
I feel like that's
characters that have
maybe.
some sort of connection to the gods/goddesses. Is this a coincidence, or is there an interest with learning about the gods and goddesses?
Oh.
I ran and got my my thing, but I made it so
So-
you guys didn't notice.
That was actually something that was added a little bit later with Matt. So Yasha was not originally anybody that who she didn't really serve any gods before that, but in talking it out with Matt and figuring stuff out with the character, we decided on that. But also no,
Why is she?
because
She's
with Path of the Zealot.
she's acting like she either doesn't want to slip and say something she
That was a
shouldn't,
little
or she's
fuzzy.
confused.
You know what? Thank you, A, for thinking that my characters are badass. That's very nice. But
She does have
also,
badass characters. They're like deep,
I
like
think having a
lineage, I
god
feel
that you
like. Something
serve
going
that
on.
you're also trying to figure out who they are and who you are in that faith, I think is an interesting journey. So I'm glad
I
that was
cannot
sort of brought to the table as
look
an
at
option,
Ashley's
'cause I was like,
face
I kind of
and not
liked all
see the
stuff that
child in
happened
her.
with Sarah and Ray, and I think that's an interesting story to tell.
Yeah.
Saren
Another
Ray.
outside force to be able to.
Yeah.
I love how I'm
Yeah.
literally
Possibilities of.
retaining all this
I was leaning really
memory,
far
like
over.
all this knowledge.
It looks really
I'm starting to get it all.
Yeah.
Saren Ray, I remember Saren Ray,
off the screen.
the Dawn Father.
These chairs tend to lean back.
Pike.
It's not that I'm.
Like I'm
Slouching.
remembering all this now. I'm
I don't know why
building
I have to explain
the
myself.
world in my
Actually,
god
pretty good
dang
posture.
head.
Thank you guys.
You're
That's
welcome,
all the time we
Brian.
have for tonight.
That's it. We're done.
Laura,
Ooh, bananas in
3
pajamas.
or more people would like to know.
Okay.
3 or more.
that's
I
their
just
name?
filled this to the
That's
brim.
excellent.
Oh, it's actually 3 or
Awesome.
more people. I love it.
Jester often seems uncertain whether the traveler will respond to her in moments of need. Have there been times when she tried to tap into his power but nothing happened?
Oh, well,
We've seen it happen where nothing has happened, but
I mean,
is that
yeah.
Jester saying something
you know,
happened?
she never knows when he's going to show up and when he isn't. He says he's always watching. So, but sometimes, the traveler is all about balance. So, sometimes he'll fuck with you and sometimes he'll help you. It just depends.
We haven't
Sounds like
really
a pretty dope
touched.
entity.
Well, Laura was gone for an episode or two. Pretty cool.
I don't know if I mentioned before, but
pretty-
it's super hot.
Oh yeah, I heard
Super
about that.
hot.
I heard that from someone. This question is for Ashley from Burial Grounds, spelled Burial Grounds.
Burial. I was like, what is he
Deserve a
pointing
cure
to?
wound spell from
Trinket.
Jester.
Trinket.
Well, I think that obviously goes more into
Dragon's
backstory.
breath.
I think also
Aiders.
because of
Adders.
not knowing them so well and someone making a gesture that was
Gesture.
that was that nice, I think took her a little off guard. And I also think
I apologize, guys.
you know,
I've just watched 8
Yasha's
hours of
very
shows and I'm having
uncomfortable
lots of
with,
seltzers and sodas. I also have kombucha.
humans and
Kombucha, brought to you by
just like
Me.
trying, not humans, I'm saying just like people in general.
Yeah.
Just being with touch and much like me.
What was that tattoo on
And-
Laura's forearm?
So I think she just was surprised at the ease in which Jester is
That was
so
dumb.
nice, and I think she doesn't know how to accept the niceties of someone doing something for her.
Yeah.
And
There's
your
also
best
a
friend
deeper
is
part of that
Molly,
as well,
who is
which
also kind of.
Maybe we'll get into one.
Maybe we'll get into if
Maybe we'll-
everyone survives.
Why all of a sudden are we talking death?
Whoa.
Yeah, why was that?
Short-lived.
Why did Laura even bring that up?
Sir,
I wasn't even
Brian,
thinking
sir.
about that, but now Laura's got me thinking someone's dying.
Arkham Architecture would like to know. Jester has started.
I mean,
to
we're
get a
almost
little
20
concerned about
episodes
how fast
in.
The party is going through healing potions. Is that Laura bleeding through as the former party treasurer, or is Jester starting
Treasurer?
to realize the money from her mom might not be coming?
That's a good one.
Well, I think Jester. I don't know why every fucking time I try to answer a question
I'm gonna
about
turn this
Jester,
up a little.
I start talking like Jester.
In the voice?
Well, let
Yeah.
me tell you.
Your method.
So method.
Oh my god. I get into the.
Why do I
Jester
feel like
voice
it just got
and I'm
really
voice
loud
voice,
when I
and
did that?
stay
And
in
I
it.
stay in
I'm keeping it at
It
6.
doesn't even matter what kind of voice session I have that day. They get Jester.
You're like Jim Carrey in that documentary that gave me the fear.
She's the Daniel Day-Lewis of D&D.
That gave me the
Very
fear.
Day-Lewis-esque.
Yeah.
It's got to be the Jim Carrey documentary
I don't have
of
the question anymore.
Well, it was about
The guy.
another old Laura.
Man on the
bleeding
Moon
through
guy.
as the
Right,
former
yes.
party treasurer.
Why am I blanking on the
Jester
name?
starting to realize the money from her mom might not
Okay,
show
so
up.
Andy
I
Kaufman.
have a hard time not being the treasurer.
Oh.
Because a lot of people
like,
saw that.
that's
I
me.
saw that. And that's
Because yes,
scary, the way
which is a
Jim
great
Carrey
thing
acted.
with the D&D Beyond thing that we all keep track of our own money.
Very
Like there's no
intriguing.
party funds this time.
Right.
Like when we played before, like anytime we
Oh,
would
yeah,
get
it was-
loot, it was instantly added to the party funds, and then afterwards we would divvy it all up. And like Vex was in charge of like, and then sometimes we'd just get party funds, and she would divvy up smaller amounts to everyone so that the party fund stayed big, so that if there was a big expense, she'd be
Yeah.
able to like.
This is why she was the money
She's really
person.
nice.
I didn't know
She's
that.
nice and
I knew
also, she
you guys
often
told
didn't
me.
tell people exactly how much the party had, so that they wouldn't they wouldn't spend all of the money.
But you
Yeah,
still
of
were
course.
fair, I hope.
But then
That's
it
just
came
being
in
a good
clutch
treasurer.
when you really needed some good shit.
Yeah.
Wait, who's the treasurer now?
We don't have a treasurer.
D&D
Everyone's
Beyond.
just doing their own
It's not gonna
thing.
be me.
It was gonna be Marisha, I think, but then in the first episode it was like,
Bo
oh,
isn't
shit,
that kind
no,
of
That's
person.
not happening.
Bo is not a.
Bo is not
treasurer.
a treasurer.
Yeah, also we
Ford
can just
could
keep
be.
track of it immediately on the app.
Yeah,
so.
Oh.
that's why I was.
Oh,
It would be funny
That's
if
true.
Yasha was the treasurer and they're like, oh wait, how much? money do we
honestly,
have?
the best of the group would
Yasha,
probably be
Yasha took the
Ford.
money and ran.
I feel
She
like
left with the
Ford
money
or
again.
Caleb.
Also, the
Caleb,
reason I'm concerned about
I feel like wouldn't
want
wanna be bothered with it.
because it's hard to get them, and then we don't necessarily have enough money to be buying a shit ton of healing potions.
That's
so
true.
it's like if I've got just a little bit of healing, then maybe we shouldn't use a healing potion, you know, because like.
I agree.
if
I
give
told
it
you guys
10
my
minutes,
theory.
I'm gonna wake up, so
Yeah.
don't waste a potion.
I
just
told
to
you
give me
guys
the
my theory is the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
You know.
Don't waste money on potions, even in games. Every game I ever
expensive.
played,
Yeah,
as
games are
little as it
expensive.
might be,
Remember that next time.
in the beginning,
Yeah, they are.
money
Money. When I leaned over and
stacks
saw how
up.
much money you
I
guys
would
had,
not
I
waste
was
money
like,
on
oh,
potions.
shit. I need to
making
get
that
some.
money.
I need to.
If we saved one potion an
I
episode,
need to get some money.
right now, we would have
But to answer the rest of that
900
question, I think
gold.
Jester
Almost
is,
1,000 gold if we just
you know,
saved one
a-
potion an
growing a
episode.
little
I'm not saying we
concerned.
used one an
Money
episode,
not
but
showing up.
especially since the
That's math.
traveler, like when she saw him in the place.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it right now.
It was the
pillow
pillow drone. What was it?
the pillow drone, the pillow trove,
When she saw
the
him
pillow
there,
drone,
he was like, she doesn't even
video
know.
drone. Have you
So
ever
it's
seen
like,
that?
what
Go
do you
check it
mean
out.
She doesn't know, you know. Does that mean she doesn't know? The message has gotten to her. She hasn't gotten back. Is she?
Guys, I
what
must have
is
had like
happening
8
with Mom?
seltzers,
Like,
and
you
I
know,
feel
so
like
all
I
those
am
kind of
about to
questions.
Maybe she
explode
can
like a
reply to this
seagull
message.
that had Mentos with seltzer.
That could be it. Ashley. Tizzy Q wants to know.
Tizzy Q.
Tizzy Q.
That's a cute name.
It is. What do you think the gentleman would have done if he found out about that dope ass sword you were hiding from him?
I
Do you
think
it
he
would have led
might
to a
have.
fight?
Do you think he would
I
have?
was thinking about that this week.
I feel like if
and
he found out,
I
it would
feel
have.
like it was very hard
been
for
okay
me
with
not
him.
to just come out and say it because I feel like Pike would have been like, "We need to be honest," and I was like, "That's not my character."
But I almost feel like it would have been smart too, even though it worked out for now.
It's really hard to
It's
fight
really
that old instinct,
hard.
though. I was like, oh, "This is really hard," and I'm just gonna keep this sword back here and.
I feel like the gentleman's
the
gonna go
shoulders and just
investigate
not gonna say
and
a
say
word.
we saw a sword
I
missing
feel like
from a mantle
in
thing.
thinking
It was
about it
hanging
this
on a
week,
thing.
There's a part of me that thinks he would have just given it to us.
That's what I'm saying. I just said it.
But
I think he wouldn't have
I'm
cared.
not about to.
But do you want to find
see,
out the hard
'cause
way
I
that he
really wanted
doesn't?
That sword. So
I thought the same
That
thing
might
though.
have
I
been,
thought
like,
he would have been
our
like,
portion of the spoils.
you know
that we
what?
could have had.
Keep the
like,
sword.
We wouldn't have gotten the rings. We would have gotten.
yeah, we'd have been
the
like,
sword.
well, you get to keep this because of,
Yeah.
you know.
but now we
you
got
can
the
wield it
rings
'cause
and
you're
the sword.
big.
Right.
But it didn't really matter.
But who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows
I-
is
I
correct.
feel like-
I feel like Ashley
I feel
thinks like
that might
me.
come up at some point.
And I think it's going to
Now,
come up at some
we
point.
deceived him
He
real
made it a
good.
point to say, we're going to go
Part
investigate.
where
We're going to
Knock
rip
jumped
that
on
place
your back
apart.
Killed me. That was the funniest thing
hiding
ever.
it.
And then the
And then the pop out the butt,
Like a puppet.
I
not
don't
had it
wanna
up
go
its
as far as
ass.
to say comedic genius, but I will say definitely
Definitely. Are
comedic
you just-
apprentice.
Hoping
Comedic
that he calls in
apprentice.
again.
Sam
No.
Riegel. Sam Riegel did call in
Honestly,
last time.
no. And if he does, I'll ignore it.
Sam
Like I do
Riegel,
when
one of my
attorney calls.
favorites.
Laura,
A man
CD88 would like to
amongst
know, why
mortals.
do you think the creature
Well,
wasn't
that's the same
interested
thing.
in the fact that the pastries in Nicodranus were made with cinnamon?
I don't
What kind
know.
of monster doesn't love cinnamon?
Right? I have no idea why he wouldn't care about that secret. It's
Do you
a
like
really good
cinnamon
secret.
in pasta?
Just put a little cinnamon in it.
I just had, I swear to God, for the first time,
Don't ever put cinnamon in
kettle
pasta.
chips.
can't.
What are they?
If you're-
Kettle
if
chips
you're
or something like
into
that?
If you're a
Corn chips.
monster.
They were salty sweet, and they had cinnamon and salt. And I'm like, how gross.
honestly,
They were
like-
freaking amazing.
We were talking about that. Was it the next day that we were talking about that? Like, I had no fucking clue when I was gonna say, when I was like, I have a secret, and and then I was like, shit, I don't have a secret. So
Yeah.
that's just, as I was speaking, those are the words that were just instantly
Oh.
forming in my
Died.
brain.
Pretty hilarious.
I don't know why it was not interesting enough.
Oh, it was.
Is she wearing Marisha's
was.
outfit, or
That
does
would
she?
be amazing
I
if he
I can't
was-
get my mind
Wait,
off
did you have
that
to roll for it, or did he?
because Ashley's
No.
way shorter than
No, it was
Marisha.
just,
I
think
feel
it was
like.
just instantly
In
like,
real
no,
life.
y'all roll for initiative because that was pathetic.
Well, speaking of that great moment, we're gonna have giveaway our gift of the week.
And Brian made fun of
Which
Marisha.
like
He
to
was the
feature
one that
unique
said
and
she looked like
funny
Ripley.
creations by
How come
you,
he's
the
not making
critters,
fun of his
including
wife?
Those epic gift making skills. Up first, it's gift of the week.
Gift of the week. Everybody get up and sing and dance.
Our winner for episode 16 of campaign 2 was sent in by J Peebs, aka at
J.
the real
Peebs.
J Peebs. At least we know it's the real one. Let's take a look.
Last one was a lot. Oh my God, that was fast.
His face is so great.
I have a secret for you. Did you know this is the cinnamon
Look at
that's
Sam.
in Nicodranus? Look at Sam. Are made. Oh, the patient. Oh boy. Yeah, that was bad. Oh boy, that's bad. Yeah, that's bad. And look at his cocked head. What is that from? That reminded me of, like, kind of Train to Busan. Like all those zombie movies kind of do that.
Like this
That cocked neck look. A lot of horror movies. Feel like The Ring,
You
maybe.
were also, what you didn't see is you were like
Gotta be The
scratching
Ring.
the top of your little belly.
I was
and
like,
you were
'cause
like,
you know, when you wear maternity pants,
Yeah, I know.
it comes with this thing that like comes up over your belly if you're hot, or if you're cold, you can bring it down or
that's
up.
cool.
And it kind of keeps your pants up because
Really?
maternity pants don't have like a waistband.
Oh, yeah.
So at the same time I was telling the secret, I was adjusting my.
I knew
Well,
that's what you were
maternity-
doing. and
I
you were
didn't
like,
know that
"I'm trying to pull
existed.
him up."
There's
I
a
don't come up with a
extra
secret.
layer of
Chris, our son,
warmth
wears
for your
maternity
belly.
pants,
Is
but
that
he
a
says it's to
thing?
hide his
Am I
12
hearing this
pack.
correctly? I've never had a baby.
got
I've never been around people that had babies for longer than a minute.
He's resting
Maybe
like
an hour at a
Mad Dog
party
2020
randomly, but I'm
on his
probably
big
drinking
big
heavily and
sand.
stay away from
Hey,
babies.
look! Yeah. That's hot tea. Be careful. That's hot tea. The baby's fine. However, you
That is hot
third-degree
tea. Be
burns.
careful. She's balancing hot
Please
tea.
don't sue us. Congrats to you, J Peebs. You have won this.
Can you imagine
Critical Role pendant
if she
and
burned
tarot
herself
cards.
with hot tea on friggin' Brian's show?
You
Poor
can submit
guy.
Your gifts.
Horrible.
Give somebody.
Nope.
Submit.
You can submit your gifts for our
Submit.
weekly contest.
He said
by
it. There it
emailing
is.
them
Submit.
to Submit.
Submit. There it is.
At talksmachina.com. A friendly
I
reminder
dig it.
when submitting, please A, include how you'd like to be credited if you win, and our other rule for submitting. Please send us either your actual GIF, a Giphy link, or a Google Drive, etc. link to the actual GIF itself. Makes it easier on our team. Submit. Moving on.
Submit. I feel like
Next
Google
question is
Drive is an
for
interesting
Ashley.
method to
Okay.
From the
use.
legend
I
of
find
Xanax.
Google Drive to be like a little laggy
know
or
it
slow.
well.
That's
Definitely
aunt
for
writing in.
that kind of stuff.
Seeing how
I don't know, maybe I'm
seeing
wrong.
as
Maybe
how
I'm crazy.
Molly
I haven't
said
used it in a
Yasha
while.
already knew about him waking up with no
This
memories.
was a while ago.
Has Yasha similarly told Molly any of the secrets of hers?
I would imagine yes.
He knows a good amount.
Yeah, I would imagine yes.
Molly knows a good amount. And there's a couple things that Molly does not know.
Okay.
Fair enough. That
Yeah, Molly knows a really good. Molly
I
knows
feel like there's
really
just
good
a lot
portion
they can't
of-
talk about or don't want to.
Of kind of why Yasha ended up with them, but there is a little part that she's keeping to herself for sure.
Okay. So even
I
secrets.
feel like
that
there's
he doesn't
fireworks
Yeah.
near my house. I keep
Yeah,
hearing fireworks.
definitely.
You gonna tell me later?
No.
Yeah, will you tell me?
know.
Okay.
No.
No,
Just
it's
wanted
like
to say
7:30, 8 o'clock.
You guys are the worst.
I feel like there's a. Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Wick,
It's
Wick
the last night of
Warlock
the
would like to
festival.
know,
I'm not kidding. There
regarding
is a
the flirting
festival.
Between Jester and Fjordy, was it something you always planned to do, or was it something that naturally came out of the game?
You know,
Fjordy.
sometimes you just can't help it. Fjordy is just so freaking hot. No, I think
I would agree, but I won't.
It is her
argue.
husband in real
I
life,
think
so that's
Jester,
funny.
You know, Jester grew up in an environment where she had very limited social interaction, especially with anybody that would be considered a peer. You know what I mean? So to her, like friendship, the way she knows people interacting is flirtatious. So that's, you know, kind of
Yeah.
how she
Makes
how
sense.
she-
I honestly
knows-
didn't think they
yeah,
were
exactly.
flirting too much. Not any more than.
So that
I don't
that
take
came
anything
naturally,
Jester
and
does
certainly
seriously.
It wasn't anything that I was like, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna flirt with Travis's character. It just like, it just happened.
You weren't going in and planting your stake at
Yeah.
the beginning to be like, he's off
This
limits.
one's mine.
This one's mine. Oh man.
Honestly,
That'd be fun, though.
I didn't even
Funkin' is
acknowledge that as
staring at me
anything.
At the angle that you have
It's
in
just
that.
Jester.
And every time you
I'm
start
gonna take
talking,
Jester. Jester could
he's
walk
giving
into
me
a
this
room
look like,
naked
You really
and say to
suck.
one of the guys like, "Take me now," and I'd be like, "Oh, Jester."
Can you try a little harder?
I'm trying, guys. Marvelous Miss C has a question for both of you.
Okay.
How are you enjoying being the two strong women of the team? Well, there's three.
No,
There's four.
no, the physically
strong
strong,
I
the
know, but I
physically
mean,
strong
like-
ones.
Everyone's strong.
No, but they're like
Anyway.
physically.
I know.
Yes.
How are you enjoying being
Brian,
the two strong women of the team?
keep
are
up.
you finding this new skill useful, or as demonstrated with the rowing and
I understand
continual
what Brian's
stealth checks
saying,
from the past two
but you're reading too
episodes,
much
do
into
you
it.
feel it's a bit of a burden?
They mean the physically
I like
I know it's
strong
being so hot,
Hulk
'cause
women.
You guys always say that. You guys are always like,
Oh, it's so
it's
hard."
a burden being so hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, whenever we're
I like
getting
it.
manicures.
I think it's. I mean, I feel like Pike was a little bit of a tank towards the end, but
Those are like gauntlets.
yeah.
I have said this
yeah.
before.
It's still,
Ashley
it's-
Johnson
it's
has
it's a different
crazy
thing. I mean,
hair
that's-
to me.
I consciously
Like,
wanted to be more. of
I'm not a hair
more of
person,
a
and I don't know
bruiser
what
and
I'm
have more
talking about, but her
melee fighting that
hair
I can do
looks
in our
like
next game.
unreal in a great way.
And I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
I didn't plan on making Jester strong. It was just
You just
how I rolled. It's just how I rolled the stats.
Your stats are pretty crazy.
Yeah. So But I'm really happy that that's where I randomly put it now.
Yeah.
I think it works
what she
great
said.
for the character.
Ashley,
I think it
people
works
forget
great.
about that
Jester
joke I
being
just
the way
did.
she is.
With another answer to
And
a
having
question from
ultimate
3 or more
power.
people. This one for you, though. Do you think Yasha will develop her own signature rage activation phrase? What is happening in Yasha's head when she rages in contrast with Grog just going berserk?
You know, I really thought about it, and in the first game that we played,
Ooh, I just drink a
I'll
lot.
think of something later. But
And it's ice cold.
it's classic now, and I also love that Travis came up with it, and he sort
There
of
were
set
still
the
fireworks going
foundation,
out.
or laid the
Going out.
foundation for the barbarian. And I don't want to come up with something new, because I feel like it also. I loved the relationship that Grog and Pike had with each other.
So it's like
there's a
she's
part of me
taking
that
a
likes
part of
that
it.
That little bit of
I
connection.
knew it. It's going to be like,
with
that's a
Grog.
piece I took
So
from
I don't
Vox
wanna-
Machina.
I don't want to think of something new.
I know
Makes
you
sense. Works.
had
It
thought
works
of a
because
bunch
of the
different
bond
ones,
that
but none
I
of them
saw
really
in a
sank
short
in.
time.
It's time to rage.
Yeah, I kept,
Bring in the rage.
It's
Bring
time
in
to
the
rage.
I'm
I was
about
almost
to
going to wear
rage
that
right
shirt.
now. Like,
And
none
it
of
matches the
it's-
color
none
of her
was-
onesie.
None of it works.
Heads
We
up,
tried.
it's rage time.
It's rage
Let's
time.
do
Rage
it.
time.
Yeah.
Total Rage Live. I'm your host. Yasha.
Rage
Time to
Live.
die.
That
I
would be
think
kind
I
of
would like to
interesting.
rage,
Rage
as they
live,
say.
and you
But
just
also, I think,
explode.
you know,
I feel
what
like
Yasha's
loquacious.
thinking of, I still feel like I'm developing this character for sure, but
Yeah.
I think she goes blank. Like, I think it's not even necessarily a rage. I think she can easily access her anger and her rage, that it's just, it's kind of like the Hulk. I think it's just there all the time.
Yeah.
Hulk. I
So
already
think she
mentioned.
just, like,
Reference.
goes
5 of them.
blank and then
Ashley
just
sing.
starts
What is that
swinging.
back there?
Secret is I'm always raging.
Yeah.
I'm always
Yeah.
raging.
I
Hulk,
think
yeah.
it's- I
I'm
don't think
always
it's like a-
angry.
I
Ah.
think she's like screaming
Frumpkin chilling up
inside
there,
and, like,
perfect.
Anything crazy, I think it's just like shut down.
That is a
and,
tattered.
Her rage
That
is
is
like
like.
a cold rage.
It's just
That
like a-
reminds
yeah,
me of the
that's
old
what I
school
feel.
Winnie the Pooh
With
stuffed
you
animals,
spending
the
so
raggedy
much of
looking
the year
old
in
school
New
shit.
York, what's been the hardest part about missing most of my parole hearings?
Well, I mean,
What?
I've
Laura
definitely.
just whispered, "You're so stupid." All right, we'll move on. You don't have to answer that publicly.
I love
But you
that they're
will
that
have to
kind of
answer for
friends.
it privately.
You couldn't say that on any other show. You're an
Absurd
idiot. You
Goat has a
stupid.
question. This is our
Great.
producer
I
Max's
like it.
account. He's not here, so I can say that. I think he went to go floss his nipples. Was what?
Floss?
Mean.
I
What
don't know,
is
but it was a thing
Brian
that he
talking
said.
about this episode?
It's a thing that he says. that he
Flossing
does.
his nipples, missing
Laura,
his
was Jester
parole
flirting with
hearings.
Caleb purely to make him uncomfortable and see him squirm.
That I'm interested in.
Well, it's a good time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, see.
She was
back
being
to my
very
previous
weird with
answer
Caleb.
about flirtation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like that. But also, yes, Jester really likes making Caleb uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
it's
I figured
obvious
so
that
much.
Caleb gets uncomfortable
But she went a little
pretty
above and
easily.
beyond, more so at
She
Caleb
really
than
enjoys
anybody.
that.
She likes. To
And I
bring
think
up
Caleb
the continual dirtiness.
should go for it.
Yeah.
I
Although
feel like
he's
he
not
should
that
make it,
dirty.
like, not actually go
he's
for it. I
taken
feel
a
like he
couple
should
baths.
Yeah.
give it to her back.
His jacket smells.
Yeah.
Some of
Crusty
my
jacket.
favorite
His
moments in
crusty
this game
jacket.
have been
Radiator.
because I feel like with Caleb, he's so dry that he'll say like the obvious, and then just I think it's so funny. I love Caleb. I love what
Yeah.
Liam is doing with this.
That was the
character.
part that sounded like Lord of the Rings kicking in. Dun, dun,
he's
dun,
a
dun,
very
dun,
good wizard.
dun.
He is. I love all of his little descriptions of how he does the spells. Because it never comes into my mind to describe it like that, you know, when I'm just like,
No.
I'm doing spells too, but I'm just like, I do this. Like,
Yeah.
it's so stupid.
That's
like,
how
he's,
I play a wizard at home, and it's like, oh, this motherfucker's head's coming off right
Yeah.
now. It's not like, oh, I make this beautiful thing. This, oh, son of a bitch. Yeah.
it's a really cool.
It's very artistic
typical
with Caleb.
style.
Yeah.
I take this
That's Liam,
string and
though.
I move
know?
this and I
It's
do
very
this and then I like
The funny moments.
Very
poof,
different.
he's
I
gone.
did that.
Right.
Sorry. Just. when
No,
I
I'm
think
the same
Liam,
way. I mean, not as Caleb.
Yeah.
I'm like
What were you going to
so
say?
excited. I'm like, I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna smash him
think
against
he's-
the
I love
wall
what
and
he's doing
blood
with the
and
character.
guts
Yeah.
spew
And
out.
I'm surprised Like Caleb is really funny.
Yeah.
Like just because of the whole. Yeah.
True.
Anyway,
Yeah.
like I said,
He's got a lot of charisma, yo.
he does.
He
have a lot
does.
of charisma. Huh?
Yep.
All the ladies loving
Moving
Caleb.
over to Ashley, Krista Miller would like to know, how excited are you playing a barbarian who now has the ability to dispel magic? Did the Moon Touch sword hold any sentimental value for Yasha?
I actually forgot about that
That's so
until right
important.
So
now.
are you playing a barbarian?
How many times can you do that? Is it once a day or something?
I think once a day.
Once a
yeah.
day. Okay.
Oh,
That's
with the
handy
oh,
as
okay.
Fuck.
Yes.
Because somebody else, like, you already have so
I
much
can
other
dispel
stuff,
magic,
but yeah.
or I can somebody who is a magic user.
You can like stop them from doing a
stop them
spell.
from yeah.
That's pretty
It's
cool.
pretty-
I
That's
honestly
pretty fun.
completely
like,
forgot.
we
I
didn't
thought
get
he was
access to
talking
dispel
about the
magic
moat of
until late in the campaign because
possibilities.
in the previous campaign had
I
dispel
totally forgot
magic.
that her sword
And I
does
don't
that.
think-
That's right.
I think Sam ended up taking it like way late,
Episode 114.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoilers, guys. I'm sorry.
I
As for the
honestly
moon-touched sword.
was thinking about something else and totally
that-
missed it. I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah. something like
I
that.
just heard
That was
episode
actually,
114. That's all I
Just
heard.
fact checking with Danny real fast.
I know, like she knows.
Fact checker.
No, but she knows better
But you
than
know
we
more
do.
than all of us put together.
You're a Rolodex of the game.
That's
Yeah.
why we gave her her own show. That, and she wanted an exit strategy out of talks.
What is her own show? Who's this lady? They mentioned that lady a bunch of times. I never remember her name.
Not me, guys.
He always praises her. What the hell's her name?
This is my community service. I get points for this shit.
Points for this shirt.
Did you guys feel like? Did you feel like you adequately?
Moon-touched sword.
Moontouch sword. That's right.
Moon-touched sword was.
I apologize, guys. I am so gonna explode if I don't get it
purchased
out.
Fairly recently, because she had saved up that money
Moon-touched
to buy
sword.
it
I
during
feel
the
like she made a
circus.
big deal
She
out of
saved
it.
up money to buy it because she didn't have any money before that.
So that's why it's
She
sentimental.
was paycheck to paycheck.
It was the first thing
we
she
all do.
saved up
So-
for.
Yeah. Except for Max.
But she saved up for that particular sword.
I get it. I got
Or,
shit like that.
dim spirit
Like
wants to
I
know.
still had the first television I ever bought with
Jester
my own
thinking
money
when
from my
he
first job.
studied the
I still had it up until like
dodecahedron?
3 years ago, and that was like
Was she ever scared of what
25,
might happen
30
or
years
just
ago.
amused?
First job I ever
I
had.
think she thought that he might get sucked into the thing.
Yeah. I
So she
actually
wanted to
thought
be
that
along
a
for the
second.
ride. I
Yeah,
thought that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to watch, see what happens.
Great answer.
Great answer. Great answer.
Should we give away some more free shit? I'm feeling generous.
But yeah, I'm not kidding you.
Our next
I bought
giveaway is
a
for you
27-inch
fans that create
Sony
incredible art
Trinitron.
from moments during critical
It was
world, the very show we're discussing
$800
tonight.
for a 27-inch flat tube TV. They didn't even have flat screens back then. $800 when I was in, I think I was a sophomore in high school.
Does anybody ever see Trinket
And that was the
anymore?
first expensive thing I ever bought with like a paycheck.
Yeah.
And I kept it in my
He
game
gets,
room forever.
He gets vacuumed, and every once in a while, I'll come in and spend some time with
I mean,
him.
because like the pillow ends up on the couch and everything like that, but then like Trinket just stays there. What if like Trinket was on the couch?
He's keeping guard.
That thing is
watching
so
over us.
badass. I am bidding right now, guys. There is an auction going on in LA
week's
this
fan
week
art
and next
winner.
week. I believe it ends
Don't
the
apologize to me. It's your
26th.
show. Was sent in by Miggy.
And there are
Bergfauer,
life-size movie prop
AKA
things
at
like that.
Miggy
Real.
Berg Baller.
Screen use. I'm bidding on shit.
Take a look.
Wow.
Midgie.
I didn't see this one.
You didn't?
I didn't either.
Well, you're sick.
Oh my god, it's in the hands. That's awesome. I was like, what is going on right now? They're very lifelike.
Oh,
Some of them
I
are
love how colorful this group is.
very colorful. In general as well, yes.
You
That's
guys
really cool.
are.
Caleb's
in
very
the hands
lifelike
of
face.
The giant god from Cabin in the Woods. I think
Cabin
that's
in the
what that
Woods, the
is.
giant gods, boom, at the end.
With the
Yeah,
scrying
you are
ball.
big.
I like Yasha's midriff
Scrybald.
in the crop top.
What is
action.
Laura
I
doing?
have a hair
Checking
in my shirt.
in her boobies? Laura was
I have
checking out her
several.
cleavage.
You know when you get a hair in your shirt and it's super tickly?
Yeah.
Super tickly.
And it's always weird when you pull it out and it's like really long.
Thanks to everyone who submitted. Congrats to you, Miggy. You have won this.
Midgie.
Now, Max told me this is pronounced wingy. but I think it's
Wangy.
wenge. It's
Wenge?
wenge, right?
I think it's
Wingy
That's
does
Max.
not at all sound like how the. Let's call it
Wingy
wenge
and-
so we don't offend the people. At
Matt
Wingwood.
said both. Matt said
guys.
wenge and
Won this
wingay.
Wenge Hero Vault from our friends at Wormwood.
And
Now
that was the one we just gave
this
away
is, a darker.
In episode 16, wasn't it?
This is a hero vault, so you can put your.
Love it.
I feel like we just saw that giveaway.
Snap shut with the power of a magnet. Make sure to check Wormwood out on Twitter at Wormwood Gaming.
I kind of want one of those, but I don't know what I. Oh yeah, that was what I have to check the comments. When I asked you guys,
how you'd like to be credited
you guys can answer me in this one too, but I asked you guys,
just a reminder that our
how
giveaways
or
are
where could you
currently only
make
available
characters
to
of
people in
yourself?
the US and
Like I want to
Canada,
make a D&D character or
excluding,
something. Like just,
unfortunately,
I want to see. I want to just mess around with it.
Yeah.
Look,
It's a
I've got a
law
lot
thing.
of tweets about it.
Lot
and
of tweets about
apparently,
it.
they have some stringent ass rules when it comes to contests and giveaways from outside nations.
We have went over this in
And
campaign
we love
2.
Quebec. Last
Quebec.
week on the show, made a joke. I said, fuck Quebec. They made a gif about it. It was a joke. I was joking about how Matt on Thursday nights is so like, sorry, Quebec.
Oh, we
man."
did,
And I
yeah, and the
spent 15
contrast
minutes apologizing
where
for
Brian's like, "Fuck
like
Quebec."
a Canadian. And I was like, no, fuck them. Let's move on, you know? And then everybody was like, but why do you hate us? I'm like, I don't hate you. I hate
You're
your
spending
rules.
15 minutes explaining just the same
Now we
way.
have time to kill.
The fact that, I mean, I
Thanks,
think it's
everyone.
silly that people need to explain themselves with things like that. Like, do you, like, if you watch the show
He's on it.
and you didn't start on
He's on it.
episode
Submit.
15 of campaign 2, do you really think that Brian hates
Street
people from
Oddies
Quebec?
wants to know.
From Quebec.
Wait,
That's
wait.
not,
I think
like,
that's what this
I
is,
hate
Danny.
stupid people. I apologize if that
Just letting
sounds
you know,
rude.
you can go
But
now.
you're a stupid person if you honestly believe that
Sign your
Brian
time
hated
card
people
if you
from
wanna
Quebec.
leave now.
Sure, Chrome's tie-in?
Chrome's thoughties.
Crom's thoughties?
Crumbs thoughties?
Crumbs, thotties, crumbs,
This episode you hinted that
crumbs,
Yasha's past may have been
thotties,
violent.
crumbs.
Would you say that she's used to all the fighting the M9 that's
Crom
has
Saint Hotties.
been
Is it
seeing, or are
Crom
these
Saint
situations
Hotties?
new for her as well?
I think it's Crom Saint Hotties.
I
I
think
hope
she's
it is.
used to fighting a particular kind of thing.
See, she is very
How do I still give
calculated with
information?
what she says.
Would
I
you
thought
say
she
she's
was
used
just
to
not
fighting
knowing what to
for a
say. She
particular set of reasons?
doesn't want to say a lot of things.
Yeah, I think she
Okay.
has, a code that she sort of lives by of fighting rules. She definitely, I will say,
I wonder if
grew
in the
up around
victory
fighting,
pit,
so
if we
it's-
do it,
it's
which I hope we do in the
completely
next couple hours,
second nature to her. And
I hope we
natural
find
to
something out
act
about her.
in to not use your words first.
Mm.
So the sword is
Mightier than the
mightier
words.
than the pen.
The sword is
doesn't work at all.
mightier.
No, but I get what
The
you mean.
pen
Yeah.
is
I think she
mightier
just
than the
automatically would just be like, oh,
sword.
well, you would just
Yeah.
fight somebody to settle something,
Yeah.
as opposed to just talking about it.
Did you grow up like that with your siblings?
Well, of course. You know my siblings.
Yeah.
But
How would he know that? She's
I think the things
married.
we've been fighting are new to her for sure. Like, what we fought this last Thursday and
Race thing?
whatever that was,
Gelatinous
Wispy
cube
Willow,
the week before.
the gelatinous cube. Like,
Sif,
she's definitely
possibly.
being exposed to a lot of things that she's never been exposed to before.
Yeah.
But she naturally goes into battle mode, no matter what the entity is that she's fighting.
Yeah.
Entity.
Would you say she's fearless, or is there some stuff that she's definitely?
She
afraid
seems pretty fearless. I think it's almost like a 300s mentality where you have been raised to be a certain way.
Dairy for sure. Crazy shits later if she has it. No, I think I don't
Oh
think
my
she's fearless. I
God.
think in terms of fighting, she probably is.
It's
but I
like
think the
Northmen or
things that
something
scare
where
her
you are just
are
built. I feel like that's what she's like.
relationships and things like just being, touching and things like that.
Yeah.
Like just other things make
Yeah.
her scared.
I understand.
Northmen is wild if you
I
haven't
just
seen that.
switched
They
legs
just
that I was
walk
crossing.
right into
This
battle
one's
like I will
completely
die,
asleep.
and if I do, I will be honored.
Right now, straight into the coffee table. Kind of like you just did with your foot.
That scared me.
recover physically from that injury with an
Yes.
answer to this question by Secret Elfie.
Secret
Jester
Elfie.
seems to really dislike being the healer. Is there a specific reason she became a cleric if it wasn't to help as a healer, considering there are other divine paths she could have taken as a follower?
That's a good question, Secret Elfie.
There are other divine paths, but she took cleric.
Those are all
But
things
why?
that we knew before this question was
Yeah.
asked.
I want to answer it, but I don't.
Oh, is it giving away something to answer
Well,
it?
I don't think necessarily it is totally, but at the same time, it does have to do a little bit with the backstory. So
Ooh.
I kind of just don't want to say.
Okay. Now, you guys didn't go back and watch.
When she has a
Travis's
serious face, she
solo
looks like a
moment.
different person.
Did you?
When she's
No,
not
but,
all bubbly
I
and
mean, I saw all.
I don't
the
know,
stuff
she looks
was
like a totally different person.
He swallowed a sword, like online. So I was like, oh, I guess he
That's
swallowed.
metaphor, though. That's metaphor for what happened.
And
what
then I was
really
like-
happened was much
I saw
dirtier.
that too, but I thought it was just like, there was a lot of fan porn or whatever.
Swallowed it. He's a sword swallower.
Porn?
Or what's it called?
Way dirtier than what you're
Fanfic?
imagining.
You mean like,
Way
Like
dirtier.
or
specific
where
porn.
they the shit that I look up,
There
which
was
is where
a
everyone's.
fanfic porn. Is that what it's called? What am I trying to say?
Don't act like you don't know, Chris Lockey. What is it?
Ashley just
Slat?
critical
No.
role fan art. I think we're talking about something more salacious.
Yeah.
I would not be someone to talk about something salacious. Number one, I don't know what that means.
No, I think I'm specifically talking about crit roll
Stats.
porn.
Number one, I don't know what that
Oh,
means.
yeah.
Like,
I would
there's
never be one to
specific,
do
like,
that.
There's some
There's a
stuff that I
word
saw with
for
this.
critical role porn.
Well,
There's a
there's some
specific
stuff
word
that
for it.
you've shown
Let's
us on
make
your
one.
phone.
Is that a real thing?
What is it?
Let's
What
come
should
up
it
with a
be?
name.
There's a word for critical
Sam
role
right
porn?
now.
What?
Submit something.
Is that a
He's
thing?
Not there.
Submit,
What did
submit.
that say? Did that say?
What did that say?
Please what?
It's probably said, please help me find a new job. Actually, just Cyan 59 wants to know.
He just goes
Yasha
right
has
into
said
the
that
next
she is
question.
From Zorhas,
Please help me.
and this episode, she wanted information on the current conflict. Is her place of birth a key part of her identity and of some importance, or is she just curious
Critical
and doesn't
hole?
care about Zorhas? Critical hole?
Critical hole's pretty great.
That's pretty good.
Critical hole.
Critical hole.
Which one would you consider to be? Never mind.
Critical hole. It can go many ways. You could do a lot of things with critical hole.
Sorry, you're right.
This discussion
We'll find it.
should be
This is
saved
definitely
for
an
when we're on
after. I
Twitch,
can't believe this
when
is
we're on
not
that
an after hours
website in the middle of
discussion.
the woods.
Okay.
You know, because that's where you can say stuff like this. Because
Isn't
if
that bad?
That's
That I
hilarious.
just said that.
it's not bad that you said that. It can't be any worse than anything I ever said.
I mean, not. He's right. Brian says perverted things all the time.
Could you say it again?
Look at Brian just
Yasha
looking
said
at
that
her.
she is from Jorhas, and this episode she wanted information on the current conflict. Is her place of birth a key part of her identity and of some importance, or is she just curious and doesn't care about Jorhas?
That's a good one too.
I know the interest is mainly because of trying to find out where the battle broke out to see if it was where she was from. You know, if the battle was.
That's what I assumed.
How do you want to screw this?
That's better.
How do you want to
apologize.
screw
It
this?
should be crit hole. How do you?
He
wanna screw
just
this?
jumped to another porn name. I love it. They're in the middle of her answering a question.
Find the mouth breather that does our merchandise and have them get working at once.
How do you want to
Right,
screw
okay,
that? That's.
I apologize.
I honestly think that's better. How do you want to screw this? That is good.
Yeah, I think it was trying
An
to find
X-rated
if
critical
it was
role
anywhere
site.
near where she used to live, and just curious to see if it was affecting, because she still has people that she knows there. So
She does.
Yeah.
yeah.
Good to know.
I mean, you do where you're from,
know.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody does.
Good to know.
I don't know. Do they? I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe I'm lying.
Critical hole. How do you want to screw this? You can certainly try.
See, there's just so many.
Yeah. Ashley and Laura, a question for both of you from MCBE117.
You can certainly try another Matt. He's piecing them all together.
Great name.
Brian does not want to give up
Also
on
this
this
person's pin
porn
number.
name stuff. I enjoy
What do
it.
Jester and Yasha think about Ford filing down his tusks?
Filling down his tusks.
It's actually spelled filling, but it's supposed to be. I think they
Yeah.
meant filing down.
I'm sure he meant filing. There's one L too many.
What's that?
Just an extra L.
Look,
One too many.
I understand.
I think.
I think he needs to stop
Sad that Ford
now.
thought he had to do it.
If he thought he had to, I get it, but now
Right.
you don't.
If it makes him feel comfortable, then like she's not going to stand in the way of that. Like to
Yeah.
each their own, right?
Yeah.
I agree,
Yasha
but
feels
I
the
feel like
same
he
way.
still
I
might
think
have like
she
a
has
complex where is it really that he
a
wants
level of
to?
frustration that he feels like he needs to do that because people made him feel that way.
Yeah, I don't want it to be about that. Like you can't
But
get
I
over
also
it.
think Yasha's neither here nor there. It's like I don't care what you do with.
That's
your
the
face.
other thing. I really don't care.
I don't give a shit.
I don't care. What you
I
look like
wish
or
him the
how you
best,
wanna-
and I don't want him to do
whatever
things he
you wanna
doesn't
do,
have
teeth
to
in
do
your
or
face,
feel he
yeah.
needs to do.
Body.
But
Yeah.
honestly, I could care less about his
Circus,
tusks.
so
I
she's
feel like
just
he'll look
a
more
super
badass
diverse group
Yeah.
of
with
people.
big ass
Yeah.
teeth,
Not
tusks.
a real,
So
not
she's
a
not
lot
so
of judgment.
conventional looking
Maybe our
either.
next mission, we should hunt down the kids
The children
and just kill them.
line them up and kill them all.
Yeah,
at
because
once.
they're adults now, so it's okay.
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
They're
That's true.
fine.
They're
Let's just
actually-
murder.
Age of killability.
Line up all. I love how they just
Laura,
nonchalantly said, "Let's line up
Delicacy
children
wants
and
to
kill
know,
them
why
multiple
is Jester
times."
fixated on messing with the other gods, and why the matron specifically? Is this something the Traveler would want, or is this just Laura getting back at the matron for the last campaign? Spoilers.
It was a really nice little thing that was who I got to mess with, or at least try to mess with. But no, the reason I went with the matron in that particular instance was because she's in the graveyard and a little less guarded than the other. The other ones, don't worry, I will probably be trying all three of them at some point if we stick around town.
Yeah.
Because yes, the Traveler's the one true God and everybody else must pay.
Yes.
Must submit.
Yes, that's me.
I feel like the Traveler.
God.
I hope the
the
Traveler
only
has
show
some
he pays
major
attention
impact
during.
at some point.
I don't know
I need
why.
it. I want it. I really
because
dig
all the hot
the fact that
hosts.
we have seen there is actually a. I mean, we're in a
next
world where that
question.
would happen. It isn't too
Sorry about
crazy.
the cough again.
I was just worried that she's following a person that isn't even a thing, but it's real, or an entity, whatever.
Shut up, stop it.
I'm not laughing at you. Max made a funny face over there in the chair.
Max,
not even there.
He's not even there.
He's
Stop
not? You guys
throwing
don't see
Max
him?
under the bus.
He went to go check
Max
with
is the Traveler.
He went to go check with the lawyers about all our comments about the porn. Ashley, Kyle with an N has a question for you, which we
Is that
have
actually
Niall.
it, Kyle?
Niall, yeah.
Niall.
Is there any particular reason why Yasha held
Kyle
back from
with
trying
an
with
N. We've
Skyn,
seen
even
that
though
before.
She initially seemed on board with the idea. Is that how you say it, Danny?
Skane.
Skane?
Skane?
There was a reason I stayed behind for a reason.
Skyn.
I didn't end up going with them, but I don't remember what I was doing.
What were you gonna do? You said like you had something to do.
Oh, I think because I was gonna go try to find more information about Jorhas,
Oh yeah.
and
What is
which
Skyn?
didn't end up working out at all. So I just drank.
Oh
Story of my life.
yeah.
But yeah, so I think
I don't
yeah, I
remember
wanted
what's.
to try to go and find more information. But I still have a vial in my bag of
Tricks?
holding.
A lot of people
So
bought it.
yeah, we all bought it, so we can
Super
use
good
it
for poisoning people.
Yeah, I'm glad. I
Skyn.
didn't
Gotta
try
remind me
to
what
find
that
it.
is, guys.
I'm glad.
Was
we
that
have
just
it
a
for
word
later.
I've never heard of?
Yeah. Poisoning.
I think.
But she's tried it before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's her and Molly have had. They're circus folk.
Yeah.
They've tried a lot.
They've
Like
tried.
the-
Oh,
Not saying-
that?
The
Is that what it
circus
was?
People in the circus.
I don't think those people
I
are
don't
offended
mean-
by what you said.
I mean, I'd have to
mean
go back
that,
and
like, yeah.
look at what
No,
that
I
is.
actually know many circus performers.
We
and they're
do.
not.
Yeah.
I was trying to hear the
many
lady saying it's
Yeah.
spelled this. I thought they went back to the porn site again.
Yeah.
They keep going back to the porn site. I
much
thought
so.
Skyn was literally the name of the porn thing or whatever.
0707 wants to know.
Keeps
do
hitting the
not
table.
Sorry.
disrespect the coffee
stretch out
table.
the
Keep
one
hitting
more
the
time.
table.
Sometimes you gotta
Cass
stretch.
I know, stretch, but don't knock your tea
0707.
over.
Okay.
People will think you peed all over yourself or your water broke. Can't have that. Laura, we've seen that both Knott and Ford are a little self-conscious about how they look. Does Jester feel similarly about her tiefling features, or is she happy the way
I
she
feel
is?
like
she strikes
she's-
me as somebody as happy the
Yeah.
way she is.
Pretty happy. I thought about it when we.
I feel
when
like she
was,
thinks
you know,
she looks
figuring out the
adorable,
character
and I
everything, I'm
agree.
like, maybe like she always goes to like a disguised self, and she always has like a human look that she goes to.
We did see that when she dolled
But then
herself
the more I
up.
thought about it, I was like, in her world, the tiefling form has been very celebrated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think
You
so.
know,
They're
so,
adorable. I think they're awesome.
I don't think it's anything that she would ever think is
Embarrassed of her.
not attractive.
Yeah. There was that one time though
Big
where she
turn coming
did
from
do herself
someone
up
like you playing the character,
and then not.
being
Did herself up
also
like a small
confident in How
girl.
beautiful.
It's like, where are you going with this, Brian?
You know where I'm going.
Still, was like, wait.
Do you wish you could have made like a more adorable voice for her though, instead of the shrill, unattractive?
I
Yeah.
am a little worried sometimes that she's like super annoying.
Never. Honestly.
Honestly, the
you know
voice
I would
isn't
tell you
annoying.
if She
Yeah, you
was
would.
because
You would.
that's how our friendship works.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Honestly,
What
I
don't
agree.
like
She
is
might
when
get
people
annoying
post videos
from
of them trying
chaoticness.
to imitate the voice, but they can't really do it very well.
Everybody is welcome to try.
I'm kidding.
To be honest with you,
I'm just
I
upset
feel
'cause
like
I can't do
Liam
it.
is on the border of annoying.
Please.
But Liam's great as a fill-in.
Give it a try.
But I feel like if Liam did it as much as Jester does it as Laura
wait,
Bailey does it,
what?
I feel like eventually that would get annoying.
Says no.
Liam's is
That's been gone the
higher
entire
pitched
episode.
and
Just
almost
walked
intentionally
back in
annoying.
and said, no.
Maybe it is intentional. No.
Can we go? I'm trying to drink here after this. He always goes 5 minutes till Ashley.
I did watch
Calico
the beginning
Jill
of
has
the
a question
video.
For you, this better not be Sam, or I'm gonna.
And
kill
I
him. It's
saw
not- okay.
that
Calico Jill asks, when
Travis
Ford complimented
ran out.
Yasha on
Ah.
the ability to get a discount at Pumat's, Yasha thought he was being sarcastic and bit back at him a little. Is she self-conscious of her social awkwardness? And
Yeah.
if so, how does she feel about Molly often referring to her as the charm?
Does Molly refer to her as the charm?
According to Calico Jill, he does.
He has?
what?
I
I think he does that as.
I like it.
I have
think he does it
never
as
the charm.
joke.
I don't ever
a-
recall
because I'm
hearing
not
that.
Super charming.
She didn't even know that.
He says it
How funny is that?
in cheek.
It's Yasha's
Cheek,
so-called
like, hey, the charm over
nickname,
here.
Yeah.
the Chama.
I think.
That's better than
Yeah,
his accent.
I think she's
Chama over here.
a little
Starchy.
self-conscious.
I love it. It's
about,
like starchy. Love him. Adventure Time.
not being super great with people. So I think, not to the point where I think she gets super butthurt about it by any means, but I think she,
Super butthurt.
if someone made her feel super bad about it, she would just,
Yeah.
just knock them out
I
probably.
just went like this when she did that. It's like, oh, flashbacks.
Yeah, I think she gets a little bothered, but I don't think it's like a huge point of.
Jester has
frustration for
fallen
her
into
that
her
she's
lap
not
and she
super
is
good with
ripping
people.
her legs off.
But she knows it.
It's not something that she is like on the top of her list of things to improve about herself. Because to her, it's like, I've gotten
No.
along fine.
No,
Yeah.
but she's has actively worked on it with Molly.
I can't help but think that Brian is trying to make them laugh or
If
something.
If you're around a weirdo like that long enough,
Yeah, which I think
He
is
like
probably
makes faces
why,
at them, but I love it.
They made her go out with a barker.
Right.
Right,
See
and
it.
Molly was probably like, I don't know, I'm just spitballing this now. They're like, hey, come out with me and we can show you how to.
I'll show you how to charm people.
I'll show you how it works out here in the business.
Yeah.
We're running out of time.
Last question.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Thank you.
Oh, he wanted
Thank
a
you.
reaction.
Thank you. Question for Laura from Desuct. You have been playing Jester as a person that wears their heart on their sleeve. What drew you to role-playing in this fashion? And do you
Desuct?
find it to be so playful? Do you find it fun to be so playful and expressive?
Yes.
I feel like you gotta have fun with it. I would be like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because, Vex was closed off so much, so it was nice to
Yeah.
also, but at the same time, that is not something that I planned on her being. It was just something that and it's what we've talked about, aspects of a character's personality will start revealing themselves the more games you play as them and everything
Yeah.
like that. So you'll discover who they are as you play, and then you go, oh, that works, that makes sense.
How
Yeah.
fun is that as actors? Because typically you're used to someone handing you basically who the character is and what this character is going to say. If you end up with a good director or creative team, you're able to help like sort of mold and figure out what that character is going to be. But in this case, you're
It's all
literally
you.
just going week to week. What's happening and what's happening with everybody else is ultimately defining the characteristics of that person. I don't want to ask, is that more fun than the other question, because they're totally separate things, but this way almost seems more organic and there's
He
a lot
has
more
gone
possibilities.
off.
It is more organic.
Yeah.
It's more the way your personality is shaped in real life, just
Yeah.
based
Yeah.
on reacting to circumstances and finding out who you are
Yeah.
based on that.
And I feel like in in other stuff you have months to work on it and develop it, and
This is kind of
you
on the
wear
fly,
clothes
and
you
you're
figure out the way
the
that they talk, and this
actor,
was just, like,
producer,
throw
director
yourself
of your
in and
own
you're like,
world.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna find this all out together.
I mean, a
which
lot of
is
the time you wouldn't even know what to plan for.
It's intimidating.
scary and intimidating exercise.
Yeah.
I feel like that still gets in the way for me, that intimidation of like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But it's also really fun. And I think it's so good to put yourself in that position as, not even just as an actor, but as a person. I think this game is so great for just
Yeah.
drawing a person out of
I
their
agree
own
with that.
shell.
And it helps so much with, especially those of us who are super socially inept.
Introvert.
awkward.
If you're shy,
Just, like,
if
shy,
you're shy, and
yeah,
it helps.
absolutely.
It helps with that. I think there's something.
The
to be
funny
said
thing
for
is,
how
Ashley
amazing
raises
the
her hand.
community
She's been an
has
actor
been,
since she was a
and
kid
everybody
and
watching
picks
at
the
home
most
has been,
dominant characters,
that
but she'll
they
consider
know,
herself
that
shy,
this is
which
the
is
start of this new
interesting.
campaign, and we haven't been with these characters for forever,
Yeah,
so
'cause they've
we
been
are
through
gonna
that with their own characters
Exactly,
and their
we're
own
going to be
games,
discovering,
yeah.
and to see like. This is how it goes. Sometimes you start with an accent that you don't end up sticking with, or I love that Taliesin was like, I'm going with Irish because I'm not comfortable with it, and this is going to be a really fun way to get more
Yes.
comfortable with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he has gotten more comfortable as
Yeah.
the show's gone on in this season.
Yeah.
So in this season, it feels so weird to say it like
know.
that. Like it's a game, y'all.
This
Someone
campaign.
did say on Twitter, they were like, oh, you're doing an accent now, I like it. And I was like, I thought I was doing an accent the whole time. But then I was like, oh yeah, that is
It was
kind of.
stronger on Thursday though.
I think it's probably having more courage
Confidence.
to just
Try
confidence
things.
To just try.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think it is.
And
As you fall into it, in the very
that's-
beginning, you're not going to be like,
it's fun to do. I don't.
you gotta
know, it's
become
still
the character.
It's still forming.
yeah,
And that's
you got to like
totally
become
fine.
the character.
And that's right. Like the community is.
If you watch me do YouTube, in the beginning, I'm very like
need to have a fully fleshed
stoic
out
and
character
like
immediately.
almost try
Like,
to be
it's
scripted
nice to
without a
just
script.
Be like,
And
well,
now I
maybe
just
I'll try this
friggin'
this
talk.
week, or
That's all I do.
play
I
up
just
this
friggin' I don't
aspect
care.
A little more,
Hi.
and then you're like, oh, I'm figuring this out. Like just playing with the levels and
Yeah.
figuring out who she is, and it's fun.
We doing a little
Like I
mixing.
always say, like the pastry thing with Jester
Yeah.
and sweets. That was never something that I imagined for her character. That was nothing that I
Yeah.
expected. It's just I had asked for pastries, and Marisha was like, "That's all you've been eating is pastries," and I was like, "You're right, it is." You know,
Work it in,
yes,
yeah.
and then it was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, that's Jester, man.
That's another thing.
I can
'cause Sam
guarantee
is
you,
so
I
obviously
didn't
so
think
great with
Jester planned that.
improv, and
Who would have
that is
planned? I mean, if that
an
was planned,
amazing skill.
that's even worse than I imagined.
As an actor, like it's really hard. It's
Yeah.
hard to just be able to just
We're
jump off.
required to refer to him as Emmy Award winning.
I'm so sorry, Emmy Award-winning Sam Riegel.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like I've learned
Somebody
so
told
much
me
from
that.
him in terms of just
Right around
'cause I
this,
talked
he
about it in
won
the
an
first couple
award or
games, and it's
something?
like, you
An
just have
Emmy?
to go with it. Like whatever somebody says, like with the pastry things of like the yes and game of like
Yeah.
if they say something about you, it's like, yep,
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
figure out how to make that work,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is fun.
Sometimes, like we discovered with Liam, that I'll say something that he doesn't like.
yeah.
The character, and then you feel really bad as the person that said that thing.
Yeah.
But you know.
It's kind
But
of
then
like
you just, you know, if you don't like it, you just go take a bath, and then you're not the
Yeah.
stinky character
Exactly.
anymore. Easily fixed.
It's fun to have
But-
frustration as a character.
I mean, you want to have things
I
like
love
that.
you, Liam, and
Love
I
you,
love your
Liam.
pet cat here. Boop, 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 boop.
it's like my old improv coach used to say. He was very pricey, but he offered a lot of gems of wisdom that I keep with me to this day. And he used to say,
He was very pricey, but gave gems of
he
wisdom.
said, the first rule of improv is improv.
Wow.
Yep. Is
That's all the time.
That was such an awkward ending. Everything got so awkward at the end there. He is so red.
Stick around for
Love it.
Machina After Dark. Oh God.
I feel like I'm missing an inside joke. Is that person
Bay Warden,
the lady watching or something?
Mom and Baby. Hey.
Mom and baby.
Hey, Mama Bailey.
Yas Queen gets some.
Mama,
Yes.
mom and baby, or he said Mama Bailey. Oh,
Brian
Mama
Whiskey
Bailey.
Coaster. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Critical Role Campaign 2, Episode 17 airs this week. Until then, don't forget to love each other, and don't worry, it's almost Thursday. Stay turned, my friends.
That got so amazingly awkward and uncomfortable at the end for Brian, but I don't know if I missed an inside joke. I actually went back and rewound it because I wanted to hear it again. At the very end, he goes, I got one for you. And he looks at them both and is like, Brian Whiskey Coaster. I understand what he's trying to do, but that isn't that great at all. It's probably the least great one he said all episode. And the fact that he keeps going back to it, especially when they're already saying goodbye, it's just hilarious the way they are with each other. Besides that, Ashley laughs at him when he's trying to give this advice that he thinks is this hidden gem from this highly expensive acting coach, and he's like, improv. And then everyone just stares at each other. Ashley laughs her ass off. Jester's like, okay, I'm gonna get my drink. Anybody else I'd feel bad for, because I'd be like, oh, the poor guy, it didn't work out. It backfired. Sometimes we don't hit on a joke, but that was just hilarious how it happened. I almost felt like I was missing an inside joke, like the woman behind the scenes, that's name I always forget, and you guys tell me all the time, and I always forget her name. But the woman behind the scenes that's always shouting information to him, I thought maybe he was jabbing her as a joke, like that was the one that gave him the advice. But when I went back and looked, he said it was a man, so it couldn't be her. I just thought it was funny how that whole thing ended. It was like rolling too. The last question was answered so well. They were throwing it back and forth to each other, and it was answered probably the best of any question the entire show. And then after all of that, instead of just ending it there, Brian had to do what he did, and it became ridiculous again. They, for a good amount of that episode, were trying to come up with names for porn sites, and How Do You Want to Screw This is probably my favorite. Even though Critical Hole, I feel like Critical Hole is just too easy and on the nose, whereas How Do You Want to Screw This, you'd have to like really know Critical Role, and it just flows. I feel like that is the best one. But then Brian was going with it. He kept adding new ones, and then he was trying to like combine them all into one major one. They said there was already a term for that. Is that a thing? I got confused because at one point they were talking about the skein, and I don't know. Was that the mushrooms or the drugs they took? I was losing focus of what they were saying because I kept thinking Brian was going back and forth to the porn site. But then when I realized, oh wait, they're talking about something else. They were talking about how they tripped on the drugs and how her and Molly probably took it before, so it wasn't that big of a deal or something. I don't know if I totally lost grasp of what was being spoken of there, but the skein, I don't remember the word the skein. I also don't recall, and it didn't seem like Yasha did either, ever hearing Molly call her the charm. And I remember people in the actual campaign, like Sam and Caleb and all these people, are like, what? I don't even know that's a thing. It's funny to me how the fans probably pay more attention to the minor details than our cast. Not to mention it's going on the fly, whereas we can rewatch it and everything. I rewatch it when I edit. I see tons of things, and then you guys give me insider information, things I missed, stuff like that. Also, Sam, I heard, got an Emmy. I don't know what for, But this was like 3 or 4 years ago. So Sam actually did win an Emmy. At first, when I heard that, I thought it was a joke. Like, Sam got an Emmy. Like he deserves one or something. But it wasn't actually like he really got an Emmy. Besides that, I dug all the questions they asked. They did talk about Yasha's sword. I felt the same way as Ashley. I think if we were upfront with the gentleman about it, he would have been like, just keep the sword. I don't think he would have made a big deal of her keeping the sword. It probably would have been our reward instead of the rings possibly, but who really cares? I also agree that it's probably going to come back up and bite us in the ass potentially. He made it a point to say, we're going to go back and tear that place apart. I feel like they're going to see there is a mantle where a sword was placed and know something's up. Honestly, we should have probably got rid of that. I don't know if that was able to be pulled off the wall and thrown in the river or something. If it was possible, I would have ripped down that mantle thing. I'm calling it a mantle, but whatever the sword was in, because it said beware or something. It had some kind of placard or something. I would have got rid of all that, because when they go back, I would tell the gentleman there was some sort of thing that looked like it held a sword. And now he calls us before him, and lo and behold, Yasha has the sword that fits the thing. I feel like it's going to come back. Let's jump into episode 17. You guys want to see more of what I do, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons out of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link is in front of me. Dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube, like Doctor Who, Person of Interest, Die Hard, Battlestar. Check it out. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.